Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast. And we have an easy solution this morning. If you feel like time just flies every day and you can't keep up with it. I think about that because it's like my dad, always used to say that. And because his calendar was always empty, but time just kind of flew by every single day. And, that's I don't want to say that's an old people thing because that's, you know what I mean?
But the longer you live, the more that feels true.
The faster it goes.
Yeah.
It's true.
And so there's science behind that, although they debate some parts of it. But, because there are some people that believe it has to do with the brain slowing down, which can happen after like the age of 60. So your perception of some things can actually, the fact that your brain doesn't take as many snapshots, for lack of a better term, can make time apparently, speed up. But they say that most of that actually has very little to do with that. Very little to do with the brain itself aging. It has to do with what you're actually doing with your time. And I thought that this is pretty interesting, and it's got an easy solution to it. And it has to do with routine, because routine is muscle memory, and muscle memory is automatic. You're not challenging the parts of your brain that get excited, and neurons start to fire and pay closer attention. Because your body doesn't, your body kind of coasts through the things that it's used to.
Yes, of course.
And so routine's important, for comfort zone, but you should do something. They say actually you should do at least one thing every day that's a little bit, different than normal. And what's hilarious is Jodi is doing one of these right now, and it's one that I'm doing too.
What are you talking about?
It's the whole sparkling water, flavored water thing.
That's not doing something, is it?
Yeah,
is it?
Yeah, well,
it's a change in his habits.
We did talk about it last night.
So it's the igniting your brain. Basically, it means it's another version of get out of your comfort zone. If you do the same thing at the same time every day, if your life is the same circle both in and outside of work for you, and you don't ever do anything different than you always do, then your mind is not going to. And I know that probably sounds pretty common sense like.
Yeah.
And it can be anything from start up a conversation with a stranger, have a conversation with somebody you don't normally talk to, get out of your house and go do something that is different. It doesn't have to be stressful, but experience something different.
Go
try a new
walk
restaurant.
Somewhere different.
Try a different coffee. It's what's crazy about it to me is it's so ridiculously simple. All it is about doing something that causes your senses to react that's different than what you would normally do.
And that was the sparkling water conversation we had last night. Because I was having a cold sparkling water, raspberry nectarine. It's Waterloo is the brand that he bought me. Because, he bought a bunch of them. And I'm like, I like the berry one. So he bought me that. And I said... Remember this? I was like, you know what? I do look forward to drinking this at night. There's something different about it. He's like, because it's new. You're discovering something new, and we don't get that every day.
Yeah.
We have our favorite things, and we like our routines and comforts. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be a balance of that because nobody wants chaos either.
Oh, no, you don't want to do total chaos, but doing one thing a day that's a little bit different, that keeps you, fresh or try something different.
Well, I'm glad that it's something as simple as, trying a new sparkling water because every day we don't want to learn, photography. Or every day we don't
I don't think that there's anything complex. It's all it is brain stimulation. Nice. And if it's something that you've not experienced before, then your brain actually lights up, it pays attention. Because that's all our childhood is.
Oh,
our childhood is an endless amount of new things every single day, which is why the days seem to go on forever. The brain is processing really hard all of those things that it's, that's learning that's new. But, the more experienced that we are at things and the more that we're used to and we don't, have a lot of change, our brain kind of adapts to that, and time starts to speed by you.
You know where that is getting me? Well, actually, the new stuff is getting me and keeping me thinking is my pizza cooking.
Okay.
Because I know we put a pizza dough recipe at murphysamandjodi.com.
As if that's the only one.
But if you remember, right after we did that, like 2 weeks later, I was like, I tried a different one. In the past 2 or 3 months, I have tried probably a half dozen, 10 different recipes.
Whoa.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, well, why did this one work? Why does this one not work?
That's how you learn.
Trying to find, this one looks good. Let me try that one. Right. And it keeps you going that at some point I'll be able to come up with my own.
Sure. Or whatever combination you like the best.
Yeah, I'm making pizzas over and over and over, which are delicious, by the way. But it's a new recipe each time, so it's a new set of.
It is
proofing,
but it's not an entire new set.
No,
it's the basics that you're doing are still the prepping the uni, right? Getting your ingredients together. The flavor is essentially going to be the same unless you're trying something. So I think what you're talking about is absolutely correct. That it's the brain part. But I'm saying this is the kinds of things
brand new.
Like if you're used to drinking regular coffee and you get a peppermint mocha, that's going to be something that goes right. That's that's different that you try. And so that's how our mind stays, fresh. But Jodi's right. It's all about balance. Routine is a fantastic thing too, because we don't want to live in a state of chaos. But it doesn't take anything. But for me, like this can of water that I'm drinking right now, same thing, the LaCroix. I'm just kind of mixing things up. I like I don't know. This came out of the gamer focus thing that you were talking about. It's kind of an unscientific study, right? Where they said that sparkling water was, something that that triggered
it triggered focus in gamers. It gave them better focus for like if they were doing 3 hours of gaming. They focused better drinking like sparkling water. They think the carbonation did something to their focus, and improved it.
Yeah, and one of those that it's because it's easy for me to get into a comfort routine also, but Jodi's really good at this. It's just the pushing. It's like, let's just go do something. And I was like, well, what do you want to go do? She said, let's just go see and just go. And it's true. It always winds up being something, that's different. It's a conversation. It's a whatever. And I like that now. And it gives me something to look forward to also. Now, I don't know that it's slowed time down yet for me. But that's the goal if it can.
It's a really sweet thought, and something that you said really triggered something in me. You said that's what happens to children all day long. Everything is new, and so it's fantastic, and their brains are just on fire and sponges, and then they remember those things forever, and they have all the time in the world because they actually do ahead of them. But that's something that my Uncle Terry used to say. He's the person in our family that all the kids just love being around him, and he's funny, and he talks to children, not at them. You know what I mean? He was, when I was a little girl, if I arrived at our, a big family gathering, I would make a beeline to Uncle Terry. And his, the grandchildren in the family now are all the same, and he once told me, well, everything is new to a child. You got to show them everything. And he's that kind of person who's always teaching children. You always learn something when you're around him. And especially children, because he realizes that everything is new to a child. So show them. Take the time to show them the flower or the way the flag is blowing and what that means, or just a million things. And so you're right. If we don't have new things to spark our brain, our brain's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Doing the manual sort of
going
things.
through the motions.
And it doesn't have to be anything, like I said, fancy at all. I kind of landed on food because I love food, but it can be something that, Sam, I think you've done before. You take a different route to work, just for the heck of it. So, that's, again, seeing something, different. Yeah. It's just a change of scenery.
Listening to different music.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Which you can totally do any day. You're in control of all of that.
Right.
So, okay, cool. Well, I feel excited to experience new things today. But I need to add something different.
Time will slow down, maybe.
Maybe I should try one of those Waterloo raspberry things, huh?
Yeah, it seems to be inspiring a lot.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.